Testing. Hello. Hello. There we are. Right. Fantastic.
He's a silly sausage.
Obviously, there's no audio, you know, but what do you expect? What was I saying? Probably nothing of any significance. Why did I ask on my phone? Ah, there's the sound. Hey, everyone. How you doing? I was just saying, hopefully you had a good weekend, and I was asking if anyone had been working over the weekend or if you'd been relaxing and having a nice chill time. Right. Oh my goodness, it's been like ages since the last stream. I feel like I've forgotten everything. Let's get some music on. There we go. Right. And get back to some regular streams now that this core stuff is behind us. My goodness. It's been a slog, hasn't it? You can't hear me, can you?
Sorry, what are you saying?
Nothing. Nothing, dear.
This log?
The core stuff.
Oh,
Mona Lisa, working, updating the folio. Ooh, nice. Nice. What sort of work do you do? Happy Monsky. Hey, Andrea. So I think last time we were kind of working on a bit of a rebrand for me, and there was this sort of style, very grungy sort of style. And I've since actually moved away from that. We've gone towards something a little bit more my design style, which is like clean. Now this might look like Montserrat, but believe it, it's not. It's Active Grotesque, and this is like a extended version. Very similar to Montserrat, but slightly different. There's not a lot in it, but it is slightly different. So that's the main font I'm going to go with. And then we've got the gradients. I love me a good gradient. So I've kind of evolved the palette a little bit. We've still got the original kind of Dansky orange that was that one there. And then just pulling in another couple of colors. So the orange is like the main color, if you like. Oops. And then whatever these colors are here that doesn't want to select. But it's something kind of like a reddish pink, and then you've got like a slightly muted mustard color. And together, if I just make a blend, which is it going to do it? No, Illustrator's being weird. But yeah, those are the three main colors. And then obviously white, black. So that's kind of the style that I'm going for. Hey, Raquel. I mean, yeah, if you updating the folio, if anyone's got their portfolio they want me to have a look at now while we're live, I could do a bit of this, bit of that, or jump around a bit. Just email it to hello@dansky.com and I'll whip it up and have a look. I do need to do some icons as well, actually. So this is the sales page for the Photoshop Masterclass, one of them. It's just the kind of general style, and there's a timeline with all the features, breakdown of the curriculum, reviews, and then the pricing section at the bottom. There's another section I need to add, and I got to design some icons for it, which is pretty handy being a designer. Huh. Okay, so I need to make a note of what they are. So with every course, this is going to sound like a sales pitch now, but it's not, I promise. Also, is the audio a little bit quiet? Let me know. I was watching one of the streams back the other day, and I was like, I can't really hear myself. So if you want me to punch it up another 5 decibels, let me know. Right, so there's a free course with every course, pretty much. It's like how to design icons in Illustrator. So any course you enroll in, you get that. What else? So lifetime access. kind of like a, pay once, lifetime access. This is the stuff that I don't do a good enough job mentioning on the sales page. It comes with every course, but I just do a terrible job mentioning it. So there's obviously the Discord community, and we're just amazing. We're awesome. There you go. Bit of self-praise for everyone. And the monthly meetups. Course members get a monthly Zoom style meetup. I never mentioned that. And we kind of do a bunch of stuff. We review work. We just chat, have fun. And personal support from me as well. So if you enroll in any course and you have problems, get stuck, questions, you want feedback, whatever, that's something that you get with any course as well. So I need to do a better job of putting this on the sales pages and actually mentioning it. Audio is good. I'm watching from Greg's with a steak bake. Nice. Oh, that's amazing. Wish I had a steak bake.
The boys had sausage rolls earlier.
Hey, Moosh. How's it going? I need the thing back. I ain't got the dinger. It's at work.
No,
Work?
it's here.
No, wait. The gong. Yeah, the bell. That's it.
Oh.
Give Moosh a ding dong.
Okay, hold on. Oop.
Or a gong. A dong. The hell was that?
I don't know. It's like a dinner bell.
I thought you were going to do one massive one for Moosh.
It wasn't as loud as I thought it would be.
It was a bit of a dinner bell. That was like you're being summoned. Right, what else do you get? I've forgotten. Course members in the chat. What do you get with a course? Obviously you get the course. Is there anything else that I failed to mention? Probably. Those are the main ones. So I need to do some icons. So we've got free course with every course. So I do have a bit of a style going on. El Gradiente. And I've got an editable version somewhere. These are all expanded. Where's the damn editable ones? There we go. Oh yeah. Hey! Da-da-da-da! Clippy! Okay, so I've got stroke weights and everything here. Typically I would do these icons with a solid fill first, and then I'll run the gradient through them at the very, very end. So kind of want to keep them in with this style. So free course with every course. Okay, so maybe a box for a course or something. So we could do something like that. And then this bit coming through here could be a thinner weight. So like to show that it's behind, if that makes sense. So I've got these two different weights here. So I'm going to try and keep that style consistent. So we'll do this here. Now I'm creating this as a separate path, because if I connect it to this, it's just going to like inhabit that stroke weight. You see there, it's just, I connected it and it's now thicker. So what I do is I create it a little bit shorter, don't connect it up, but then manually drag the path with the direct selection tool. You see there? So that thicker stroke kind of acts as what you would see, and then this part behind is kind of hidden. So maybe that, and then AI for Adobe Illustrator. Or maybe a pen tool icon, actually. That would be kind of cool. There we go. Get that in there. Pop that in the center. And then I got to align it to that main face. Something like that. Might look a bit weird, Might have to get rid of that line doubling up stuff. Or blur it. That could be interesting. I don't know how that'll look actually. Let's have a play. Bit weird. Maybe drop the opacity. Something like that. So, free course. Right. So we're just going to kind of get the bones down of all this now. Can I call or phone call in your Discord server? Absolutely not. I mean, you can, but I'll completely ignore it, obviously. So what we're doing today, we're doing some icons for me, and if anyone would like their portfolio reviewed, email it to hello@dansky.com. I think it looks better without the line. Yeah, you might be right. I think if I was had like a slightly different style, I could employ some like blur or something, but in fact, there's a lot of icons that go on the front of that box, and I could grab the artwork actually. Let me see if I can find it. Iconic. There we go. I hope this is the artwork anyway. Bunny, why do you keep trying to phone call me when I'm live? There's someone called Bunny Studio that tries to call me through the Discord every time I'm live. Like, please just stop it. I'm not going to answer. Oh, you getting timed out. We ain't got time for this. We ain't got time for this nonsense. We got serious design work to do. Okay, right. Pay one. Lifetime access. Oh, hang on. We did this before, actually. We did this before, and I know Daniel came up with an amazing idea. Yeah, we did the. It's a bit sort of tongue in cheek. It was lifetime access was the gravestone. There you go. You get access to the course until you're in the ground. There we go. Oh yeah, that's an example. Where have I put the artwork? Right, hang on. Because the bonus course that you get with every course is like about icon design. So I've got all those icons as vectors, which is perfect. I just lost the course. Where are you? All icons. Okay, this sounds promising. This might be the file I need. There we go. Right, where's the artwork though? Ah, there's a file called artwork. That's probably it, Dan. Why don't you try opening that up? There we go. So this is the cover art for that course. So I could probably try and grab some of these and then recreate like a stylized version of that, like a simplified version. So yeah, this is all of the icons that you learn how to create. A lot of these are common shapes, but some of these are they seem simple, but they're quite tricky. So for anyone who's a course member who isn't aware of this, you've got this course, all these icons. There's dedicated lessons to create each one. Things like clocks, can be quite tricky to do it manually, but there's always usually, when it comes to icons, like a better way to do things. Okay, so let's try and build this out. Oh, this is a good one. It's a nice shape. What else is a good one? I want to put the best ones on here. Plectrum. That's a tricky one. If anyone wants to have a crack at creating that shape, like a triangle with rounded corners with the bowed out edges, I'd like to see if you can have a crack at that. This is an icon for the free course. So it's iconic shortcuts. So it's a course about how to create icons the best way. So I'm trying to create like a kind of stylized, peeled back version of the actual course artwork. Arrow, that's a pretty good one. Speech bubble, that fits there quite nicely. It's kind of a game of Tetris, really, trying to kind of fit everything. And it's all going to be like a gradient style at the end. So we're doing it orange right now, but it will all be gradientified. Yeah, nice. I need like a vertical one. Oh, this one's quite a good shape actually. Then maybe sneak that one in there. It's like trying to find the ones that are going to fit in the right place. Oh, you're welcome, Sam. I feel like Discord community, that's going to be pretty easy because we've got the Discord logo. So we'll just do that. Maybe a stylized version. Ooh, puzzle piece. That's a good one. I might have some of the icons just kind of going off outside the edge. And I'm trying to make sure that all these different elements have enough breathing space, not too close, but sort of balanced. Right, let's get that one in there. Oh, a bit of pendulum. Lovely, very nice. Oh, it's so nice to be doing this again. Like the core stuff's great, and it's great putting it out there into the world, but it's exhausting. I thought that would elicit some sort of grunt. Ugh. Yeah, because it just doesn't leave a lot of time or energy to design things, and that's what I'm all about, you know? I want to make stuff. All right, another little icon. Ooh, a leaf. I might sneak you in there. A nice horizontal leaf. Yeah. Is this going to fit? It's quite big, isn't it? I've made that quite big. Size-wise, we need to scale this down. There we go. So stylistically it matches. Maybe it's a bit busy. I'm going to have to lean that out a bit. But stylistically, that's a pretty decent representation of that artwork, I think. I'm in the basement. I gotta hop off. I'll be on the replay crew. Gotta get ready for a meeting with a potential client and then do the American thing and grill. Have a great day. Catch you later, Moosh. I want to do the American thing and grill.
We could do an American grill.
Hey?
We could do an American grill.
I want to do an American grill. Oh, it's not this.
Barbecue.
I think so, yeah. But it's just like, I mean, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the US, but the meat down in Louisiana is just, oh my goodness. Mwah, it's just delicious. Like, it's just, the food here has got nothing on southern meat. It's just flipping amazing. And what a surprise. Our favourite places to eat here, like if we're talking Gert Wings and Borton's,
Yeah, American.
the main guy who founded it, like got the recipe from America or something, or is American one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, let's...
Dan,
What?
did you know that Gert Wings won the lead UK chicken
They actually?
in the whole of the UK?
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
No. Well, hang on. You've just gone from...
Unless I dreamt that.
You've gone from certain to pretty sure.
I swear I heard that.
Your credibility and reliability rating has just dropped.
Wait, no, I remember what it was.
Was it a dream?
No, it was an American that came to Bristol.
Right.
And they said it was on par with some of the top American chicken brands.
But that's just one person's opinion.
But he's like a food critic person.
He told you he was a food critic person.
No, he is. He does like loads of food videos.
Does he actually, though?
Around the world.
Is this something he told you personally, or?
He told everyone on Instagram.
Fucking hell. You see what I got to deal with? I don't know what's true anymore. Right. I think I've totally mucked up the perspective. I was going for rounded corners and I've ballsed everything up now. Hey, Mario from Malta. How's it going? How you doing, Raquel? You all good? Ooh, that radius. I've got to try and get this looking correct. I hope this is going to work. Maybe I should have left it square. I just like that rounded look. It's a bit more inviting. There we go. Slightly rounded corners, squared off corners. Hey Mickey, I'm good. How are you? You should also add some credits for Poppy. Zoom style meetup. I've got an icon for that. Yeah, there we go. All these icons that we did before, we did it for this moment without even realizing. I've just got to find a use for them all now. Right. Okay. We're going to shape builder tool this. Yeah, right. We're going to... is it that one? Yeah, there we go. Shape builder tool these little bits as well. 1, 2. I don't know what is going on down here. There we go. Clean. So that's kind of what you want. You want it clean, everything fully editable, so you can still kind of change those stroke properties. Like, in my opinion, that's just the best way to work because it just gives you more flexibility. So, all right, this is happening quite quickly, actually. We've got 2 out of the 3 icons so far already done on a previous stream, which is amazing. Zoom style meetup. Discord, right. Let's get that Discord logo in here. Screenshot. There we go. We'll do our version of this. So, oh god, that is very pixelated. Let's grab a better version. Right. How are we going to do this? Okay, so what I'm going to start, and this is kind of how I start with anything like this. So you can use this if you're trying to recreate something, or if you've got a sketch. And I'm identifying shapes, so I can see kind of like an ellipse shape here. And I'm going to use this. This tool is so much more useful than like the pen tool for clean lines. We'll do it with like a magenta so we can see what we're doing. Slightly thicker stroke weight. Ooh, not that thick. And then for those outer lines curved around the edge, we could copy and paste this and use the scale tool to try, if I can, make a shape that runs over those curves. We'll make them thicker just so I can see what I'm doing. Thinner. And this way of working is just going to yield superior results all the time. And we've got 2 more around here. We could actually copy and paste the ellipse, rotate it. Again, S for the scale tool. And this one is slightly different shape. So it's not central. Scale tool's so good, honestly. So fantastic. When it works, it can be a bit, do this. It can go a bit weird, but once you get used to it, as long as you don't click too near the center, it can be a bit weird. Click away from the center and you get like a much slower drag. Right, and then we've got the eyes. Not quite circles. I kind of want to make them circles though. I'll do 1 and 2. Group them together. Click this one, click it again, and we can center inside. I think that's all the line work, isn't it? What's that bit there? Okay, so we've got to make a cutout. This bit here is sort of cut away. So we're going to take this circle or ellipse. We'll do a path offset with a small but positive value. And you can see there, that gives us that line work. And now we're going to grab a square. We're going to delete the top, scale tool to get the angle, a scale tool to scale it up. This is actually a great example. I like just going through this. This is such a good example for how rectangle and ellipse tools are superior to the pen tool in many cases. If you're going for like clean and precise. You know, it would be so easy to look at this and go, oh yeah, let's use the pen tool. And when you use, like, when I review a lot of work, I see a lot of the same like mistakes, if you want to call them that. And it always starts with using the wrong tool, and the wrong tool leads to the wrong process. So if you've got a certain result you're trying to achieve, and the first step in that process is, oh, I'm going to use this tool, and the tool you pick is not going to yield the best results, you know, it's not ideal, the rest of that process is only going to get worse. You know, so if you're picking the pen tool to do this, obviously it's a lot more manual, you're going to get inconsistencies, your curves aren't going to be perfect. As you go through that process, things are only going to get worse. Whereas if you pick the right tools from the beginning, you're going to have a different process, but it will yield a better result. Hey Schofield, yeah, what I might do with the lives at the minute is I might turn them back on for now. Basically, I'm in the middle of transitioning. The live stuff is going to live on a separate channel. Yeah, so I think probably in a few weeks, once we kind of get going with some more lives, there'll be more stuff on that channel. But it's just been tricky because I've been sort of trying to finish up all the course stuff as well. So, right, well that looks like some weird robot monkey, but let's grab the shape builder tool, and this is where things can go a bit wrong. We're going to knock that bit out there. Oh, I've missed a line, haven't I? I've just realized I've missed a line. Yeah, any lives from now on, they're going to live on Dansky Live. No, not on stream. Not on stream. Not on Twitch. Yeah, another little bit there. So what I would do is take this line here, path offset, and just do it. So it kind of, using path offset, maintains the angle. All right, this is quite complicated now, and this can get very complicated. This, like, looking at this is just can give you a headache. So what I would do in this instance is use Alter Option and start to remove the pieces that we don't need.
Oh, I need to go.
So we're going to get rid of those. All of this here. That. So we're just simplifying all at once. Get rid of that. So I'm just holding Alter Option and dragging through. That. And this should pretty much... Oh, bugger. See, I went a bit wrong there. So if you miss a bit where you kind of cut into a bit you shouldn't, you've got to edit undo. We'll do it again. There we go. So I want to make sure I keep all that line work. Knock that out, knock that out. Sometimes clicking and dragging through like that doesn't always work as smoothly, so you can just highlight segments and remove them individually. So we should, he says, be able to drag through all this together in one go. And there we go. we have our finished Discord icon with slightly more rounded eyes. Just like that. And then we could go and style it a bit more. So some of these corners here, you know, I might go in and round these off in a minute just to fit with my sort of aesthetic. That's a really, I should make that into a video actually, because that Discord icon is such a good example for how to kind of achieve more precision using the most simplest of tools. Maybe let's put it in a circle. I think I'm going to customize it a little bit. I'll just extend that up there. Delete that. There we go, trim those ends off. Just because my stroke weight and my icons are so small. Ah, yeah, no, that's what I want to do. So rather than having that little gap, that slither that was just too thin, I thought I would just combine it into a streamlined single line. And that way I could actually use the thicker weight again now. And then we could go thinner on the eyes. Now they're part of the same path at the minute, so I've got to double click to go inside the group, select them, cut them, come out the group and then paste them. So these are now their own objects. Nikonida, yeah, exactly. Shift M, shape builder tool is amazing. Hey James, if you want a copy of the Discord icon, share package contents, you'll get a copy of the icon. Oh yeah, no, it's fun to create it as well, because then you kind of get to see that process. But thank you. Yeah, so the is it the icon file, ICNS? That's a vector format, right? I think. I can't remember if it is or not, actually. The company's named Clyde. Is that true, Racco? Shapeboard is amazing. Hey, Omega. I'm making some... So I've got some courses and I'm making some icons for my sales page. So on the sales page at the minute, I don't do a good enough job talking about what you get in addition to the course. So I want to add a section that says, hey, every course comes with this, 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 this. So I'm doing some icons in this same style. So I've done 3 here already. These are currently live. And then I'm doing some others that kind of have that same style. Personal one-to-one support. Okay, so we've done 4. This is going way too quick. This is actually surprisingly easy. Personal one-to-one support. I know what I could use for that. I'm going to go and grab something from another old stream. Is it here? I got to find the file first. Ha! This may look familiar. Racco, one of these is yours. Is it this one? Car, I remember these. Or was it this one? God, man, this is a team effort. This is a trip down memory lane. Look at all this. This is what I think I did a chunk of this on my own, and then this was all you guys as well, over probably multiple streams. That's what I'm looking for. The upper left. That's which one was yours, Andrea? I know Raquel did one as well. It might have been that one. Upper left. That was Raquel's. There's a few in here, isn't there? I think everyone had a go. Yeah, this was... I think a lot of this stuff, this is stuff I did solo. Old studio. Oh, wow. Old studio. Oh, memories. Lots of ideas. I don't know what the flippin' heck that is. S with a hairstyle. And then all this stuff was on stream, so we did this live. Oh my goodness, look at that. That does look kind of cool looking back. What do you reckon to the thing with the glasses?
I love that.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Why did we never use that? Was that me? Was I being a funny customer? It reminds me of Ninja a little bit, one of the streamers. His was like...
Old dead cat.
Huh?
Thought you meant my old dead cat.
No. God, savage. Sauvage.
Right,
Ooh.
I've got to go.
Alright, bye.
I'm really late.
Have the best time. I hope all your hopes and dreams come true.
Bye. There's pizza in the fridge for the boys.
Under his eye.
Keep them alive.
May the Lord open. Blessed be the fruit. That was it.
Okay.
Oh, see you later.
Bye.
How much time will it take to draw illustrations? Schofield, good question. It depends what type of illustration you're doing. Do you mean sort of these more illustrative icons, or are you talking about a full-blown illustration? Honestly, it depends, and I think it'll be your experience level as well. If you asked me to create like an illustration, like a work of art, I could do it. It would just take me a long time because I don't do big illustrations. I haven't done anything like fully illustrative like that for like a while now. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. I've done some stuff in the course. In fact, I'll show you. This is one of the lessons from the newly launched Illustrator Masterclass.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hmm?
Buy it.
Bye.
Bye. Buy the course.
Oh, did you say bye? Yeah. So this is a mandala. So the technique used to create this is something that I do cover in the Illustrator Masterclass. It's so easy, honestly. I'm not an illustrator, and creating this was an absolute doddle. It looks complicated, and to look at first, it's like, oh my god, like how do I do that? But for something like this, there's a trick to it, and there's like an entire lesson on it. So if you like the look of this, give it some thought. Yeah, about 3 hours for wallpapers. Yeah, I spend a lot of time obsessing over the details as well. Yeah, I do like these glasses icons. Yeah, I think just with the glasses, it looks a little bit like, you know, a bit too much of a cool dude. I want it to be personal support from me. You know, I don't want to try and look like Mr. Cool. It needs to be like an icon that's approachable. You know, I'm here to help, rather than like, yeah, look at me, I'm so cool with my glasses and no mouth. How else could you represent personal support? That's the zoom. I mean, Ah, cinnamon bun. There we go. Another icon from a previous stream. This is hilarious. Personal one-to-one support. Handshake shaped as a heart. This is... Did I design these icons for these things? I must have done. This is too much of a weird coincidence. Hang on. Okay, yeah, some of them. Yeah, this is a bit too weird. They're all lining up. All the icons I need have already been designed. Right, let's try and separate this. So I want one hand to be one stroke weight. Because I'm kind of, when I'm designing icons, if I'm having a particular style, I want that style to be consistent throughout. You know, so if you're designing like a linear icon with a lot of line work, and then you have another icon in that set that's like solid block fills, they're going to feel very different. Okay, so this is one hand. And then this is another hand. So I'm hoping I put them back together. Yeah, clean up the line work, and then we've got two different weights and two different hands. Okay. Should I get rid of... Yeah, those connectors can go. That can go. That can go. This, we just need to change the cap. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Just so we don't have that kind of rounded cap protruding. We're just going to zoom in, check everything's super clean. Oh, this one's slightly annoying. How are we going to do that? So what I'm going to do is cut this one short and then try... Yeah, so if I connect it up, there's no cap type I can pick where that's going to be smooth. So what I'm going to do is extend that way beyond, just so this line runs straight, and then I'll trim that afterwards. Random anchor point. Gotta watch out for them. Let's grab the point, get rid of it, and put that back. Okay, so to clean the line work up on that, what I'd do is I'll make a copy. I'd have to expand it. I mean, they're going to be expanded anyway in the end, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, expand a couple times. So this is all just a shape with a fill now. Oh, no, it's not. If things don't fully expand, just keep expanding until you can't anymore. You see this one here? And we're just going to clean up all this geometry as well by uniting everything together. No. Before we do that though, again, shape builder tool. We're just going to clean that up. And then unite. There we go. Clean line work. Perfectly flawless. Ready for the gradient to be applied. Captain, do you know that I've been following you since 2016 and this is the first time that I've seen you open live? Wow. Well, thank you for following me for so long. Yeah, I think I did a few lives, 2016, 17-ish, 2018, I forget. We did like a few sporadically. But it was like early 23 that this became like more of a regular thing. Oh yeah, I love the details. I live in the details. As the regulars will know. Okay. All right, so we've got these icons then. They're looking pretty good. This one needs a couple different weights. How are we going to do that? I think this character here. And then maybe me as well. I've done a terrible job mentioning the courses today. If anyone, honestly, if you want to learn Photoshop or Illustrator with me, look no further, dansky.com. There is a link to, I think, the Illustrator course in the stream description as well. Or if you just want to get 30 days worth of design tips to your inbox, there's a link to sign up for that. So it's just got, you know, daily tips on picking fonts, colors, spacing, hierarchy. So things if you want to get better as a designer and produce better work, those emails are completely free. And if they get annoying, just unsubscribe. Links in the description. I love that RIP one, so good. Okay, community, final icon here for support. I think I've mucked the order up a little bit. And then the free course is the first one. Oh, I mean, everything is very rounded, so this rounded version does feel a bit better. Do I need to have like a line here? Like that, maybe? Or maybe just cut it short. Scale it down. Oh, I don't know. I feel like that looks weird. I feel like there's a bit too much detail. Let's get rid of some of these details because this icon's going to be very small. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, maybe. So I'm just trying to kind of spread all the different elements apart so they feel nice and balanced. The App Store logo. Oh my goodness, that's going back a while. Wow, that's an old one. And it's just subscribed. Awesome. What about long lines like the example next to? Long lines, how do you mean, sorry? What about if we did like another version? Could we do like a different perspective? Box. Yeah, like a 1-point perspective. It's going back to graphic design at school now. Let's just trying to get everything like feeling right. That. Could I select those points and press S with the scale tool and pull them? Yeah, I could play around with perspective that way. Oh, it's hard. Or like a course icon. Ooh. I could have a play in the middle. Might be a bit better. A 3-sided shape. Rotate. Scale. Rounded corners. Middle. In fact, if I rotate the whole thing sideways, it's a bit more like a video lesson. Obviously, I've got to rotate all the damn icons as well now. We can do that on the spot though. We don't have to just rotate them in a block. Oh god, what's happened there? Right, let's expand that effect. And if we select all the icons, we can rotate them all in place without rotating all of them like together. There we go. Rotate 90, and they kind of rotate all on their own sort of axes. And I think a lot of these, they actually kind of work. Just rotated. Puzzle piece. We'll just flip that around. Do that vertically. Well, that was easy. So again, we're just trying to Tetris everything in a way that fits nicely. Trying to space everything apart as well. Make some cuts down here. Pull that over there just so it kind of occupies that space a bit more. This one, so you just don't want it too close like this, you know. We're trying to spread everything a nice distance apart. And maybe swap these two over, rotate that at a different angle so it's got more space to expand size wise. just a little bit. And then this one will fit. Actually, no, that one can go there. This one will fit that horizontal space a bit better. Nice. You can see how the game of Tetris is played. We're just kind of trying to fit certain elements. Vertical space here, that one fits perfectly. There we go. How did you make the heart-shaped hands? That's a good question. This was based on another icon. So yeah, this was the original reference. I was like, oh, that's clever. But then we just put it into a heart. So how did we make it? It would have been using basic shapes. We would have made a finger, direct selection tool to round off that rectangle. We would have duplicated it 4 times and adjusted length accordingly. Again, direct selection tool, delete the endpoints. This finger was a bit more tricky, but again, it was just using the arc tool to create arcs. It's really simple. When you actually like break it down step by step, it's using just literally a few tools. Yeah, like this one here, like the arc tool. You could use the pen tool, but the arc tool is just so much easier, and the ellipse tool as well. It's just about lining things up, and I think to get the shape on the thumb, if we reset the radius, yeah, so what I did was rounded off the top part first and then rounded off the bottom one, so you kind of get an inconsistent radius, but it creates that sort of more thumb-like shape. And then again here, yeah, so you can see it's when you break it down, it's actually very simple using a bunch of basic tools. All this stuff is covered in my Illustrator First Class course. Like you don't even need the masterclass to learn that. It's like those fundamental tools, they're covered in the first course. The masterclass is more like if you want to go deeper and you want to learn all the different kind of tools, not even really tools. We cover a lot more tools in the beginner to intermediate class, but the masterclass is more about, you know, a lot of the tools, but how do you actually use them to do things? So it's more about technique. But yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is annoying. I don't know which one to go for now. I've created 2 versions and confused myself. Right. Let's add some numbers. Okay. Which one do you think makes a better icon for the free course? Having it portrait, which is more like the kind of box work, having it landscape with a play icon, which is more like an online video. I'm a bit stuck. From where should I start? I'm clueless. Excellent. I mean, we've all got to start somewhere. Do you have an idea of what type of design you would be interested in? Because going into kind of UI and web and digital is quite different to print. It's obviously quite different to logo, to illustration. So if you've got something that is initially grabbed you, and you're like, that looks cool, I want to try that, what would that be? Like, having a starting point is really good. That might not be where you stay, but at least you kind of can, you know, you're interested in starting. Figuring out what you want to try first is probably a good place to start. Do you have any plans for live streams of thumbnails? How I design my thumbnails, or thumbnail designs in general, or I don't know, maybe there's some of you that are YouTubers in the community, and you'd like help with your thumbnails or redesigning them. All of the above is on the table. So now that the course is pretty much done, the new one, we're going to get back to regular streaming, because it just needs to happen. Because I design a lot of videos, thumbnails for videos, but I think where I could probably bring the most value is people send me thumbnails that they've designed for their channel, and then I can just open it up and have a play and kind of do my take on it, because then you sort of get an insight into how I think and how I'd approach something like that, you know? Whereas a lot of my thumbnails are quite similar. But if you do join the Discord, which should be linked in the stream description, there is actually a channel on the left where you can submit your work to have it reviewed live. So I'll be doing another one of those this week, design review. So if you want to submit your work in the Discord, then it might get picked, and I'll either open it and critique it, or if you submit the master files, your PSDs, Illustrator files, I'll open it up and have a play. So ooh, we've got a Behance page. Hi Dan, Krishna Kumar here. I'm a self-taught graphic designer. You are also one of my online gurus, so thank you for all the mentorship. You are very welcome. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, we have Krishna from India. Oh, nice. Ha, this is cool. Right. Oh, goodness. Where do we start? This logo's catching my eye. Logo folio. Right, we're going in. We're going in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, for the streams, I'll honestly, I'm happy to do whatever. I know quite a few people have said, can we do a Premiere Pro stream? So like an introductory stream on editing video. Honestly, if I can teach it, I'll do it. Like I'm an open book, honestly, whatever. Oh, okay, interesting. Interesting. Academy for Performing Arts. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So for something like this, the illustration, oops, oh, what have I done? Yeah, for something like this, the illustration is grabbing me much more than the typography. I feel like the typography here, it kind of feels like more of an afterthought. And I think as well, the tagline, Academy for Performing Arts, being spread over 3 lines, like I'd probably put it on maximum of 2. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's tricky. I know, I can see why you've done it, because it is quite a tall logo. Like the mark over here is very tall. So stacking it kind of makes sense in one way. But the first thing I would do with any logo design is I would put it in a website header. Because I can't right click and copy. Oh no. Let me screenshot. Ha, you can't stop me, Behance. let me show you what I mean. Right, we'll go with web 1920. Yeah, so website header. Obviously, they're not normally very high. I think a 100 pixel website header is quite generous. You know, some are pretty slim, right? I'm thinking, how's this logo going to fit in there? That's my first thought. And I think that's because I spent a lot of my career in web and UI. Probably more than the print stuff, actually. Do you know what I mean? So it fits, but it's quite hard to actually read anything, especially with this serif typeface. You know, like I'm zooming out. This is the sort of size it would be on my screen. So it's difficult to make out the details. So what I would probably do is, I've got no idea what font this is, so I'm just going to have to pick a close one. Close, but not that close. We'll sample that color, you know, so you could pull out the brand name a bit more. And then we've got Academy for Performing Arts. So maybe you do have that 3-line version if there's going to be like something like a, you know, a booklet or a poster where you've got that space where you can actually have that text. But for like something like a website, let me clip this again. You see what I mean? And then you could even get a little bit more size out of it. So you kind of have that web version. As well as like the main version. So different kind of versions for different scenarios. And if you were thinking about the height as well and you wanted a more vertical version to balance alongside that the height of the mark, you could do it on 2 lines. Or there could be a version that just doesn't have the tagline at all. So considering this is why I always personally try to sort of not totally steer clear of vertical marks, but I'm always considering that if I'm going to go above, like the height's going to be greater than the width, I'm thinking, how's that going to work on web, you know? I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult to know. Maybe it's important for the word academy to be in there. Maybe not. I honestly, I don't know. I would be guessing. But yeah, this sort of illustration is, I mean, obviously, as you can see, that detail gets completely lost at that small size. But at larger sizes, yeah, it looks really cool. I think just the typography, just the font choice as well. Like, I mean, I don't know what font this is, but I really don't like it. The P here, the P compared to the rest of the letters feels so off. I'm not sure if this is like if that is the letter P that came with the font. It feels like it's totally different font, you know? It's very, very squish. So, yeah, that P is the thing that really stands out to me. That's not just me, is it? Like, that P just looks very, very odd. Let's have a look at something else. So we've got a few logos here. I love this one. Yeah, clean, simple, symmetrical, balanced. Love it. What else have we got? Ooh, this is like a bit more of a branding project. Let's have a look. Hey, Richie, how's it going? Okay, Torzi. Blood B plus. Okay, what is this? Is this business development executive? Is this to do with like donating blood or something? No, just it's got the blood type on there. I'm not sure what it is. That would be a good thing to include in your portfolio. Is just a brief of what the project is. Just for lemons like me who are like, what is it? Okay, here we go. We've got it down here, but maybe at the top, just a one-liner. What is this project? Who is the client? Tools is a food delivery platform launched. Okay, so it's nothing to do with blood. We charge only 8% commission. Okay, right. The blood type kind of threw me a little bit. Also, with mock-ups, throw in something that looks slightly more believable. Obviously, fake phone number, fake email, but yeah, make it up. Make up a name at least. It just kind of helps sell everything a bit more. The kind of logo mark here is used as a watermark with this kind of pattern's really nice as well. So you've got these sort of incidental elements that you see here, yeah, repeated, like tiled across the background. Sometimes this could just make things a bit more visually interesting rather than having just solid colors. Yeah, I like that. It's clean, modern. Bullet points here are slightly low. So you see the bullet points? They're all hanging low by a few pixels. So just shift all those bullets up. Social media banners. Oh, let's do it. It might be my end. I think our internet is playing up a little bit. Yeah, our internet's not ideal. I think what I might do, I think I've got one somewhere. I think I might just run a LAN cable through the entire downstairs to the router because I've got my studio at home now. So I think I might just run a LAN cable through because the Wi-Fi in this house is not ideal. Okay, social graphics. So I'm guessing this is like YouTube or something. I love this as a graphic. I feel like I like the arrangement here. I feel like it's a bit small, but I can't really make anything out. So I'd probably pick one of these screens. Maybe one of the actual UI or something. This logo is so odd. I wasn't sure about that at first, but it's really growing on me. There's something about it that's really growing on me. The T is outside the thing, but the T and the style fits the shape of the container. Like the T is like a bit bubbly and it fits that sort of rounded aesthetic of the very unusual shape of the container. And then the mark is on the right. It's odd, but I'm starting to like it, weirdly. Colors are nice as well. Again, good use of the watermark just to add a bit more visual interest. Nice subtle gradient as well. I'm not sure what this one is. I mean, personal preference, I'm less of a fan of the like hard drop shadow beveling effect. It's difficult to know exactly what it is. I think, yeah, just a bit of context. I think a one-liner for each would be so helpful for randoms like me, just looking at it for the first time, so I can look at it and know what it is. Like, what, I don't know what this is does or what it's for, or is it sport? Is it gaming? I've got no idea. Ah, Krishna Gaming. See, I get that one. Very cool. Oh, nice. So there's that logo in with a bit more context. Poltergeist Gamer. Poltergeist Gamer. That's not the guy who streams Hunt, is it? Hunt Showdown. Yeah, oh yeah, I know they're YouTube banners. It's just what each channel's for, just so there's more context about, you know, who they are specifically. Keith says, how do you balance a logo mark and a word mark? Do you use a margin, or which criteria is easy? There's lots of different ways that you can do it. One way is using the rule of thirds. You know, I think it's difficult. There's a lot of systems that you can use. I think I've got to a point now where I just sort of do it by eye automatically. So I've tried learning more of the systems behind it because it's helpful for other people. You know, when you spent 20 years just kind of doing it and you've sort of trained your eye, it's quite difficult to... Oh, we've still got a poll running. Let me just run that. 50-50. Great. Utterly useless. But thank you anyway. Yeah, obviously when you've trained your eye for 20 years, you can't just hand that over to someone. So having those systems is a great way if someone's new to design or if they just want something to give them some guidance. Let me just grab something as an example, because that's a really good question. Okay, let's just make up a logo. So I'm going to make up a brand. We'll call this Starbucks. Now this is what I'll see a lot, right? I get this. And okay. So there's our logo, Starbucks. And it's like, how do you know how to balance the sizing or the spacing or all this kind of stuff? And what you can do is use the rule of thirds. So we're just going to grab the line tool. We'll use yellow. And we're going to just draw a grid. 1, 2. They're all spaced equally apart, group them together. And then we're just going to size this so it fits the height of the logo mark. And then what you can do is you can use this to size elements up. Oh look, there we go. It wasn't too bad to start with. So you can use this as a guide. Now how far should you space it from this mark? Well, some brands have it really close and it looks okay. You can space it too far though. A good rule of thumb is to use the width of one character. So take your S, your T, R, B, just grab your average character length and space it. So if we just use the S as an example, something like that. Now I've not gone the full width of the S because the actual part of the mark is here. We've just got this flap sticking out. If that wasn't there, I would just have it the whole width of the S. But because there's a little bit peeking out and then a little bit more receded, I've just gone a bit less than the S. So this is, when you sort of end up doing this, you're kind of getting into the realm of optical balance and alignment. You know, you're just doing it visually by eye. So that looks pretty decent. It's a tricky one as well, actually, because it's not just a square. You know, when you have squares and circles, it makes things a lot easier to line up to. Whereas when you kind of have a mark like this that tapers off to a pointed star and a pointed bottom of the box, it's not filling out all that space. You know, like whereas I had the square before, you've got all this space that is not being occupied. So if I get rid of the guides a sec, you could look at that and say it's too big. In fact, this might be this is really interesting example actually. Let's grab a square and we'll do the same style. We're going to have solid fill for half. I want to see if this works. Right. So you see there, we've got a square, okay? Nice, symmetrical, balanced. If I get rid of the guides, I would say that that mark and that text is relatively balanced in terms of size. They kind of pair quite well. But if I zoom in, even this, because of the shape of the box, it's not a square occupying all that space. There's actually a lot less space that it's occupying. It visually appears smaller than the square. You can see how much smaller. It looks way smaller. So what do we do with the text then? You know, they're both using the same rule of thirds. What I would do in that instance is I would make the text smaller. So to me now, those look a lot more balanced. Does that make sense? It's quite difficult because sometimes you can rely on a system like that. If you have a predictable shape like a circle or a square, or your designs, kind of more of this sort of shape, having a system like the rule of thirds like that makes it very, very easy. When you have more irregular shapes or shapes that aren't symmetrical, that's when you have to start relying on your eye a little bit more. Hopefully that example made sense. When it comes to a tagline as well, so yeah, what I would do is I just make that smaller. We're still going to balance it in that space. We're still going to have that sort of distance, just about one character, give or take. What would I do with the tagline then? So let's try another way of doing rule of thirds. So we're going to do a stacked layout now. Now again, this is a slightly odd shape because do we align to the outermost point or do we go to the main mass of the box? I'm probably more inclined to go to the main mass of the box rather than those tips, because if I do that and then scale this, it's going to look rather large. So when you're aligning optically, and this is stuff that I cover in the Illustrator Masterclass, we're aligning to the main mass of the shape. We're not aligning to the kind of these bits here, like the outliers. So the main kind of mass here is a hexagon. In fact, we can use... there's so many ways you can use rule of thirds. And I would use it as more of a guideline as well than a hard and fast rule. So you could then scale this up so it's kind of the width of the full thing. And then I've got a line space here for my tagline. So, let's make up a tagline. Starbucks, the best box in town. I don't know. Worst tagline ever. And of course, this, how you use this will depend on the length of your tagline, you know? So again, we're taking it with all the salt in the world. So you can see we're just using the rule of thirds across different elements. And then spacing wise, you know, if I delete all these guides, you could say that's a little bit too far. So we could just repeat that up there and bring it a bit closer. Or you might look at that and go, that's too close. I'm going to give everything just a little bit more space. You know, there's no sort of hard and fast rules around it. Or maybe, yeah, that looks all right. So it's a system that's very, very easy to use. But just know that you might get to a point where it's like, okay, I've got to do this optically. If you've got an unusually long tagline or unusually short tagline, or your logo mark is a very odd shape. Does that helpful and does that make sense? Hopefully I've explained that. Thank you for the question, Keith. Yeah, Bernie, yeah. Yeah. And I think it's you know, not everyone's going to have an eye for design. Some people are going to have a much more highly tuned eye for it. I think, to be honest, I've always had an eye for those details. That is, you know, if I had to say what is your superpower, that would be it. I'm obsessed with details, whether it's design, life, whatever. People, I'm always noticing little details and things. It's just something I've naturally always done, but I've honed it over the last 20 years as well, kind of obviously working on projects and applying those skills. So even if you don't have like a highly tuned eye for design, you can learn these systems and learn what to look out for. It's almost like a mental checklist in your head, you know? So when I'm doing what the flipping heck is this song playing? Some insane bonkers song. Sabaton the Lost Battalion. What the bloody hell was that? Sorry. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, so when I'm doing a logo, I'm thinking, all right, I've done a logo, cool design. How's it going to look in a website header? Does it pass that test? Okay, cool. Does it work side by side, stacked? Cool. It's like a mental checklist, you know, sizing, space of the logo type from the logo mark. Is there a tagline or a version with a tagline? Let's get that mocked up, spacing. So I'm just kind of working through this stuff in my head. My favorite coffee place is Starbucks. Yeah, I think, I mean, I wasn't thinking of the coffee place, but yeah, I was quite literally just like, oh, star in a box. Yep, sure, why not? Having the eye for design is the difference between being a media graphic designer and digital artist. Yeah, and like I say, I think there's a lot of different elements that you can teach. Everyone's going to have a different ability when it comes to having an eye for design. But, you know, I think like, even like with this, you know, there's, and this is what I like as well. I like teaching this stuff. But if you can come up with these sort of systems or these ways of being able to determine if something's good or bad or how to make something better that has like a bit more of a system behind it, that's, in my opinion, a better way to teach people that are learning, because it doesn't really help anyone if I go, oh yeah, well, you just see if the spacing looks right, and I go, how am I going to know if it looks right? So I think when you're learning, having some systems to fall back on is helpful. Can designers have like a weekly challenge where every week someone comes with a design idea so people can hop on and give back reviews? Oh, what, you mean can we do one? We do design competitions every now and then. We will do another one soon. But if you join the Discord, there should be a link in the stream, hopefully. Let me just check actually. Oh, hang on. I put the wrong... Sorry, let me just fix something. I put the wrong link in. But yeah, if you join the Discord, there is a section where you can submit your work for review. I'm going to be doing a lot more of the design review stuff on the lives now, because I think that's where I can probably bring the most value. Like, it's fun designing stuff in Photoshop and Illustrator, but I think helping people design like a professional and think like a designer as well is something that I can bring to the table. I think that's going to be really helpful. All right, so let's add this in here. I like it as well. It's fun. It's fun critiquing, and I think it's very helpful. There's some of my students who we kind of go over their work in my DMs in the community. We do a lot of work there, and I think that's some of the most helpful stuff, is when they get that real feedback on their work. You know, sometimes someone can teach something online and talk about spacing and this and that, and these abstract concepts are great, but then when you come to your own project, which is obviously unique and has unique content, it's like, oh, okay, I've learned the thing, but how do I apply it to my work? And so I think when you kind of open up real people's projects on stream and you move things around and play around with it and talk through that process, I think that's where it can be really helpful. How has AI changed your creative process, and do you see it as a threat or a tool for growth in the industry? Honestly, I've got no idea. I mean, I still don't trust it. I don't trust it. I've seen Terminator. Like, Skynet's a thing. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm using ChatGPT a lot, more from a business point of view, and it's helping me with marketing. And it's, you know, a lot of the work I do is very solo. It's just me a lot of the time. So being able to bounce ideas, you know, hey, I've got this idea, AI, pros, cons, go. It's very helpful to get that feedback, and it will mention things that I've not considered. That aspect of it I find very helpful. T1000's covered. I know. I don't trust it, and I don't trust humanity or the people at the top of the food chain to misuse it. And I don't know. Like, come on. I've seen iRobot. You know what I mean? Like, it's inevitable. Hey, Flex. All right, where was I? What was I doing? Bit of a tangent there. Oh, I'm gonna go portrait, I think, just to keep things moving. All right, 5 lovely icons. Let's group them. All consistent in their style. Right, let's line these up. Distribute spacing, very nice. And then I'm going to copy and paste them over here. You can apply gradients to strokes, but there's just too much complexity, and we've got double stroke weight and all that stuff. So I'm going to expand everything here. So these shapes are going to become shapes with a solid fill. So we'll just keep expanding. Expanding. Can we keep going? That should be it. Yeah. So then what we need to do is unite this together. So what you want is you want to have a color here, not a question mark. If you've got a question mark, keep expanding, then unite. But if I go and apply my lovely gradient, wherever the heck it is, you can see we have a problem. That is not what I want. And if I want to edit the gradients, you can see I've got 50,000 gradient tools. Well, we don't want that. We want the gradient to run across the whole graphic as one. So to do that, if you've got shapes that aren't connected, like this, you want to create a compound path. And it does that, which is really annoying. It doesn't always do that. Just go to the gradient slider, re-add the gradient, re-add that lovely angle. And you can see now we've got one gradient slider and we can fine tune it. So that compound path, what it will do is it will take separate paths and it will treat them as a single path. So we've just got to do that for all of them now. So you'll see all the geometry here. Unite it. And Command or Control 8 for a compound path. And then just eyedropper tool. This, it doesn't copy the angle. So just remember, if you're going to have an angle, you've got to manually add that back in. Yeah, so select, unite, Command or Control 8. Do the gradient in a minute. So it's so handy. Look, you got all this line work. Look at it. Watch this. It's all messy, messy, messy. You can shape builder tool it, but always use the Pathfinder panel if you can, because the Pathfinder panel has a tendency to create cleaner geometry, right? Whereas the shape builder tool, you can get a lot of duplicate anchor points. You can get just weird geometry, and sometimes when you combine shapes with the shape builder tool, you won't get those corner widgets that let you round off corners. Whereas the Pathfinder tool, like I've done a like for like comparison before. I had a shape, I can't remember what it was, but it was giving me a lot of trouble. And I was like, I'm going to test this. We're going to do a shape builder tool version and a Pathfinder tool version. The Pathfinder tool version yielded the better result. And I could still control everything, all the points. That's annoying. Okay, weird little knobbly bump. That's going to bug me, that is. So, we've got to extend that up. There we go. This is the sort of detail I obsess over. Copy and paste to new version. Shift it over with the arrow keys. And let's expand a bunch of times. There we go. Nice, clean geometry. Oh no, there's a fly. Go away. Do you have a Telegram WhatsApp channel? No. We've got a Discord, link in the stream description. This one's pretty much done, I think. Yeah, nice. So there we go. We've got the editable versions here on the left. We've got the expanded versions with the gradient on the right. And then we could kind of go and drop them in the design. Oh, thanks, King Mo. Yeah, I've just been using it for a long time. I've just been using it for so long. It's nice being so proficient in the software as well, because this is something that I get with my students as well, is like a lot of the times, 9 times out of 10, when someone's got a problem and they send me a message and they're like, Dan, I'm having this annoying problem with Illustrator, it's usually something that I've already experienced. So I like it when I get those messages, because I can be like, don't worry, this is how you fix it. Or if I don't know how to fix it, I'm like a dog with a bone when I've got a problem. I'll just go online and I'll find a solution. So again, this ties back to this one-to-one support. I don't talk about this enough. You know, I'm not just selling courses. If someone buys a course, they get access to me and that support. So when they get stuck or they've got a question, I'm there. Like, I'm there to answer. I spend a lot of time in the Discord every day, kind of replying to messages, DMs, and all that stuff. So that's the whole purpose of these icons and this section added to the page, is because I need to do a better job talking about this. It's very easy when someone's looking at the page to go, oh, this course is 79, I'm just going to go on Udemy and get a £20 course. And it's like, that's fine, but you try and get that personal support from someone on Udemy for a £20 course. If you can get it, great, do it. But I'd be surprised. Whereas having the higher price, which in my opinion it's worth it, because of the the quality of my teaching. I do pride myself on really, really high quality teaching, but also the support. I'm not interested in doing £20 courses. I give a shit. I actually care about the people I teach, and so I want to be able to provide that one-to-one support if and when people need it. So yeah, I love teaching. I enjoy it. Right. Okay. Icons check. Also, this is the new styling. This is the sort of thumbnail style. So you might have clicked on something like this today already. So I think it looks cool. I do love a good gradient. So this is kind of the aesthetic that I'm going for. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is set this up. It's like a kind of a course page template, if you like, because I've got the 4 courses now. So they're all going to sort of fit that template. And, I'm still learning a lot about marketing, but I've been following so many people talking about landing pages and how to structure it. So effectively, when they land on the page, you need to just say exactly what it is, what it will do, trailer, what the problem is. So, why should people care? What is the sort of the pain points that people experience a lot when they're starting Photoshop? And then follow that up with, kind of, this is the problem. Then this is how I'm going to help you. This is a solution. And then a big old look at some of the before and after examples of what you'll actually be doing. And in fact, I'll show you an actual example. Oh my goodness, my internet is terrible. God, I'm going to have to get a LAN cable. Yeah, so this is the before and after thing. So it's just like, I love playing around with these. So there's the before, and that's kind of what you end up doing, drawing some penguins as well. So business card mock-ups, how to make them from scratch. Text effects. This is, yeah, that's insane. That's a drawing. That's made in Photoshop, that controller. So if you're in the Photoshop masterclass, like, I can't wait for you to get to that. So we draw the whole controller and then we render it like that in Photoshop, which is just ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, it's one of my favorite things. But yeah, so those are the before and afters that kind of live in that place. Then you've got the breakdown, reviews, all from Moosh. Then you've got the 2 different options. You've got the beginner to intermediate class, but then the bundle with both of them. So So it's just adding that extra section that does a better job of talking about the other stuff that you get, you know, like the support and everything, because I don't mention that anywhere. You know, there's probably people that have enrolled recently that have no idea how much I'm there to support them. So I should probably, I'm going to have to do a better job mentioning that. Yeah, you're on that now, aren't you, Raquel? How far are you? Oh, honestly, Raquel, the penguins bit is so interesting because, like you probably heard me say this before that I can't draw. I'm not a drawer. I'm not good at drawing. But using certain tools in Photoshop, like the brush tool in particular, which I know is your favorite tool, right? Um, it enables me to actually create simple drawings and things that I probably otherwise wouldn't be able to create. And when you see how simple the penguins are, like at such a small size, if you zoom in on it, you'll see that it's just like, it looks like not shoddy brushwork, but it's very simple. But when you actually zoom back out, it's more than good enough to be at that sort of size. It's looking pretty good. I can't wait to see the finished result. I'm absolutely buzzing. You have a trusted by section. You've got quite a few. Oh yeah, where's that? Is that on the current site? Yeah, those are brands that I've worked with. So, yeah, here we got. Let's go through them. Where is it? I've lost it. Is it on the homepage? I'll find it. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Adobe. I've worked with them on and off for years. We did a bunch of projects together, creative ones, YouTube content, sponsored content, Adobe Max content, going to Max, NVIDIA. I did some sponsored tutorials for them a few years ago now. Logitech, done content with them. Again, like every now and then I'll do something with Logitech. Envato, I've been working with them for years now. I'm an Envato instructor, so I do stuff on the Envato channel. So we've got some like mini courses on there. So if you like listening to the sound of my voice, then Envato, I'm on their YouTube channel. BenQ, I've done some sponsored content with them over the years. Great monitors, like all of the monitors that I've used for the last, I don't even know, 7 or 8 years. They're all BenQ monitors. So they're like professional displays. I did have like a Dell before. I had like a really big Dell one. And that's something I bought myself and it was good. But then obviously when you end up working on a professionally color calibrated display, it's like the color difference is night and day. But I've been very fortunate to get these monitors through sponsored content as well, so that's always cool. And then MSI, again, did a bunch of sponsored videos a few years ago now, and then we did some more sponsored videos, and that was, I can't remember when actually, but it was with some of their like creator specific laptops. So they were like these absolute powerhouses packed in a small chassis, which was pretty fun to work with. Great for work and productivity, and great for gaming as well. So those are the 6. It's been amazing. It's been amazing, yeah. Very fortunate. Oh, thanks, Raquel. I thought you meant your design. The site's looking cool. Yeah, it's getting there. I'm redoing it at the minute. Not massively, like it's not much of a departure of what you've seen here. Like this is pretty much I'm just sort of slowly rebuilding all of this in Webflow, because obviously this is Illustrator, so I've got to, you know, drop in the new fonts and tweak and tweak and tweak, and then get the updated version working across desktop and mobile, and like the timeline bit not completely breaking. So I'm just going to do that, get the template right, and then I've got to do all of the course pages in this new template, which is going to take a while. But yeah, then once I've got that done, which hopefully shouldn't take too long, the next thing is going to be I'm putting together some sort of program that I'm still figuring out the details, but essentially it's going to be working with a small group of people to help them design at a professional level. So I'm still figuring out all the details, but that's what's next on the cards. And that's going to be more of like a, you know, working with people on a one-to-one basis, giving feedback on their work and just kind of helping them level up as quickly as possible. That is the goal of that specific program, and it'll be like in a short space of time as well. So I'm excited for that, because I like teaching, and it's always nice. Like you know, I don't really have the coaching on the website anymore, but it's always nice actually when you get people on camera and talking to people face to face, and you get to teach like real people face to face. Do you know what I mean? Like when you tell them something or show them something that they didn't know, and you see their face light up, and it's just like, oh yeah, it feels good. Right, I'm gonna go and see my kids in a minute and cook some dinner. Does anyone have any questions before we jump off? I should probably put oh, actually, hang on. Oh yeah, there is a link. Hopefully if you refresh the stream, there should be the correct link to the Illustrator First Class course in the description if you are interested. If you've enjoyed this icon design foray, this little bonanza, and you've wondered how on earth I do all of this, Illustrator First Class will teach you a stupid amount of stuff, more than I knew in the first 10 years of my career. And you also get iconic shortcuts this course as well. So every course gets that one. Artwork. Yeah, so if you want to learn how to do all of these icons professionally, that's a free course you get for nothing once you enroll in anything else. So yeah, this is the kind of course that I wish existed years ago. I've spent years making icons the wrong way, and I don't think, maybe the heart, I don't think any of these icons apart from the heart use the pen tool. Even this one, see this one here, I don't think even that has the pen tool in it. Maybe that. Yeah, pretty much all of these are non-pen tool. But the great thing about going through that is just you learn how to create things the easy way. Like, you know, there's so many ways you can make a heart. Like, I've done 50 million videos. But once you know the techniques for certain things, dunk, dunk, D, copy. You know, things just get so much easier. There you go. There's a heart, and you can scale it and skew it however you like. Yeah, it's just about knowing the right way to do it and the right tools to do it. I don't know what this is, but yeah, it's just learning the tools and techniques, and then you can just create stuff like that easily, which is good because it makes things faster. Inside the you'll be doing this and more section, could you align text and image to the top? Ooh, inside the what? This one here. Text and image to the top. How do you mean? Well, like this. Yeah, you could do. Let me just look at it and see how it runs on the page. Yeah, I think it'd look a bit weird. I'm just sort of, I've got the in progress build here and I'm just looking at it off screen. I think it looks better being centrally balanced. Yeah, once it goes live, see what you think, but I'm just looking at it down here. Yeah, so this is the in progress one. Do you see what I mean? Like, I feel like everything looks pretty balanced here, whereas if it was up top, I don't know. Yeah, obviously a few issues with spacing and things, but Dansky, may I make a suggestion? Oh, sorry. I'm catching up on the old messages. Sorry, Raquel. I'm reading all your messages in the wrong order. How can I get your Illustrator course? Right, so the Illustrator First Class, that's £79. That will, if you're new to Illustrator, that's going to be beginner to intermediate level. So if you're new, I would recommend starting there. If you've got a little bit of experience, I would recommend starting there. That course will teach you like a lot of stuff about Illustrator. And for a lot of people, that's all they'll want. They'll want that course, and then boom, you've got a solid foundation. You can build on that with free tutorials or experimenting, whatever. If you want to learn how to design, not just design things using the right tools, but design at a professional level and make, let me see if I've got some examples. Let me open up the page. It'll be easier. Scroll. Yeah, I think I've changed the fonts recently, so I've broken this page. So ignore the fact that this is somewhat broken. I'm working to fix this now. Yeah, so in the masterclass, like I said earlier, it's less about this is the tool and how to use it. We cover a lot of the tools in first class, but in the masterclass, it's more about, okay, how do you just take a boring font and then completely redraw all the lettering from scratch, customize the redrawn lettering and turn it into like a full logo type like that. Something else we do at the end of that course is we animate this logo type. So we have it kind of coming in by different pieces. So like the lettering comes in, this bit draws around, that draws around, and then the exclamation mark pops in at the end. We look at isometric illustration. So you're right, IKEA instruction manual stuff. So we do like a technical illustration of a laptop, but then in a follow-up lesson, we turn that into like a full-on realistic illustration, or depending on how you look at it, realistic, stylized, whatever. But it's all isometric, so it's really, really kind of polished. We do icon design. We do more visually interesting, advanced icon design. So we've got a glass effect with glass morphism in there as well, which kind of adds a bit of depth. This design here, which is actually something that someone submitted from the community, and there were a bunch of different mistakes with this design in terms of width, spacing, and I show you how to use a grid system to space everything consistently, all the kind of detail-oriented stuff that I'm always talking about. This one is another isometric design, but this time it's a logo mark. So we've got the word ink, and how do you do all the curves and the lines and everything to make it fit within an isometric perspective. So that's like a full-on project in itself. And then this one here, this is Illustrator's native 3D, which in my opinion is a bit rubbish. It's good for some things, but the lighting and the shading just looks horrible. So this is a better workflow using Illustrator with Adobe Dimension that can produce just infinitely superior icon design. So if you want to go beyond just the, like, you know, these icons are great. The ones we've done on this stream, really cool. But if you want to explore, you know, the third dimension, as it were. I'm sorry, this website, I've really broken it here. If you want to explore that and get them looking good, you got to go beyond Illustrator's just native 3D tools, because this just looks terrible. And that doesn't. But there's a specific process and a lot of different settings that you need to play around with to get things looking good. So that's what the course is very much about. You know, in first class, for example, you'll learn how to use 3D. In the master class, you'll learn how to make stuff look really cool and professional and tightly polished. All the things that I waffle on about on stream normally. So there we go. Hopefully that's a helpful distinction between the two. And if you want to get both courses together, or even all of the courses, I do the Photoshop ones as well as Illustrator. I think all the courses together is 556 in total, but you get it for $399. And now I do sound like a walking sales pitch. But yeah, there you go. They're all there. If you want to learn everything start to finish on Illustrator, then there's a bundle. So yeah, you basically, if you get a bundle, you just save more money. The more courses you get, the bigger the bundle you get, the more you save. So. And obviously with all of that, I'm here as well. So if you ever get stuck, have questions, anything like that, I'm there to support you, unless I'm in bed. So if you message me and you don't get a reply, it's because I'm on the UK time zone and it might be 3 a.m. and I'm asleep. Oh, right. Do we have any other questions before I shoot off and just check that my kids are still alive? Teacher Dan and Seller Poppy. I know. No, she's not Seller Poppy now. She's gone to work. Although whether she comes back, she might have done a runner, I think, Raquel. I don't think she's coming back. Oh, amazing. Right, so yeah, if you would like to join the Discord and submit your work to have it reviewed, then there is a link in the stream description, I hope. There should be. Poor Poppy. Oh. I think we're doing all right, Raquel. It's just been a bit of a slog. It's been just a very intensive process. And she's been absolutely amazing. She really has been amazing. And yeah, I think it's good to it's been nice to kind of just have a little bit of chill time, but now we're getting back to the streams. So I'm going to try and do more this week. I'm going to try and stream a lot more this week. So yeah, I might do another one tomorrow actually. So if you have any ideas for the stream as well in the Discord, there's a channel where you can throw ideas. I want to do some Photoshop. We've not done some for a while. And I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. I've started playing a game recently called Claire Obscure Expedition 33, and it's just like the personification of art in a video game form. It's like very French themed, and the music and the art direction and everything is just phenomenal. And I'm just like, I want to do something with that kind of in mind. But we'll see. Andrea's character. Which character's that? Yeah, oh yeah, the upside down one. Oh my god. Bunny Studio, you are so gonna get kicked if you keep calling me. Oh, you'd think after like the first 4 or 5 ignored calls, like, yeah, it's not very often, but sometimes people join the Discord and they just start trying to call me when I'm on stream, and it's like what are you doing? Just, oh, funny. Anyway, guys, right, I'm gonna jump off. Thank you so much for joining. You've been absolute legends as always, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh, where's the stop button? Oh yeah, the outro. Haha.